It is a world of darkness, and the warriors of Gaia fight over the fate of the world against their enemy, the cosmic force of entropy and corruption, the worm. Unbeknownst to mankind, they wage a war against the coming apocalypse, with new cubs taking up the cause to fight with fang, clave, and gun and claw. They give the worm no quarter. They give it only rage.
I will ask very briefly, just so I know. The three, where are you headed first, and how?
I assume it's towards the right of the windbreak.
True. Since we're technically closer, can I see any wires?
Can we see any patrols?
Perception alert. Dave, the moment you start trying to look for wires, there's too much snow billowing around that you're trying to keep out of your goddamn eyes. As it is, you already have a nostril full of it.
I'm gonna hold my paw to my face and mutter, "Oh, my blue eye!"
Shh.
Meanwhile, Tara, you can see a patrol that's just coming to the front of past the buildings right before the windbreak. They'll probably make it to the outpost within next few minutes walking by. Naturally, Snarls, you can see the same, though you can also see that the lights are on. Well, the southernmost building, as well as a heady smell of food stuff.
Snarls still behind the wind, well, slightly peeking out the windbreaker to see, would say to the others, "There seems to be people in there as well. But also, you see that building near the big box on wheels?
She gives a nod.
Earlier when I looked into the Umbra and I saw those Banes, I saw that one or two also would sometimes go around there. We should avoid that place. At least if we can."
Like, zoinks, man, I can't see anything.
Tara would look back at Dave and motion for him to keep his voice down. And then she says, when that patrol moves, we should move along the other side of the windbreak. The buildings have labels on them. That one is the mess hall, and the other one over there is a storage shed and dormitory. If we move up that way, maybe we can see what the other building is.
From my angle, would I be able to tell on it?
Tell what?
Like, what they are?
Perception alert. This is mostly to see how much English you can remember reading.
No.
Goddamn ape tongue. Why can't they just mark things with their scent? Dave, the moment you poke your head up to try and read, gusts of snow and wind pick up from the blizzard again, and you can mostly see the edges of the buildings rather than the buildings themselves. It's beneficial in that it's hard for people to see you, but it's also annoying that you can't see 10 feet in front of your face.
Gaia did not bless me with winter vision.
Hey, Snarls, can you see any other patrols?
Snarls would not make a sound, but he would back away, whispering to the others, "Get back now."
Tara does so.
Dave does so.
Snarls would move backwards, closer to the... You see the part where the wind stopper thingy starts to go vertically up? He would stop just before it starts going up, so he's still slightly covered on the back a little bit. And then would say to the others, yeah, Clara, you know how you were talking about Aaron's dream?
She looks at you.
They're here.
What did you see?
Third room up from the bottom, Black Spiral just exited.
Which way are they going?
It was going past the satellite dish.
So then are we clear to move?
Snarls would say, we can go now because they must have gone past. There'll be another one coming soon, but it means that there are virals, so we should be expecting more. Be very careful.
Lead the way. We need to find where these computers are.
I mean, I think it should be the one closest to the top. He would stop at back, being very careful, keeping a close eye on surroundings, looking at all the houses and everything very attentively.
Tara follows after Snarls, and she is on high alert.
Meanwhile, D, Darren. You've already begun your descent and are partially the way down. What is the plan the two of you are concocting as you proceed downward at a somewhat easier descent than the others had, though still fairly precarious, meaning Dex and Athletic?
Plan is to, since we couldn't see the, Oh, real quick, would my reflexes be enough to catch that guy?
To what? Considering your role, as D is about to make a very steep tumble, you put your hand, your paw out, and as big as you are, it doesn't take much more than that to press him against the edge of the ridge, his head stroking the underside of one of the outcroppings, which is fairly pointed and made of stone. Not exactly comfortable to feel against your fur or your noggin, but at least you didn't go tumbling.
Thanks, brother.
Just nods. So to answer your question, plan is to, since we couldn't identify a security building, check out that building that the lorries parked outside of, especially since the others seem to have been going towards the windbreak. It's better to divide and conquer. Or at least, if one group is going somewhere, the distraction has to be in another place. So yeah, going down the ridge safely, following what D wants to be the lead, and yeah, looking in that lorry building.
The two of you finish your descent and find yourselves before a fairly rough terrain with sparsely divvied out trees with sharp, jagged bits of fallen stone and rock from the ridge's edge. It doesn't inspire a very comfortable place. Rather than shrubs, you have large rocks and boulders lined around.
He's leading the charge. bouncing between the rocks, the trees, and
Darren is-
sticking decently close to the rock face to stay away from the patrol route.
Are you going southward or northward?
Southward.
Alright. Both of you roll a dex and stealth. The two of you proceed at a slow, steady pace, moving through the snow, practically passing over it unseen. Your furry, four-legged forms make it a simple matter to move through the snow. Weaving through trees and large rocks, you come fairly close to the edge of one of the outposts, where you can see two men sat, one smoking a cigarette, the other popping a couple of pills in his mouth and washing it down with a swig of coffee that smells distinctively of liquor. When he puts it down, you can see his tongue licks his lips to get the last droplet, the tongue large, discolored gray, with little barbs running along the edges.
Do I have any idea what that thing could be?
Starts with F.
I try and mouth with my wolfish lips for Maury.
D gives a knowing nod.
God, I wanna kill that thing, but I know I shouldn't.
Worst part is these guys ain't unarmed either. They are packing heavy duty. You start a fight, they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
And for the record, in the event you are curious, these guards are packing SA-80s.
Oh, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I love my 7.62.
I'll go with silver!
Though you can see that some of the patrols are packing slightly different weaponry, all assault rifles.
How many are in that post? 2, 3?
2. And that's not including the ones that are currently patrolling.
And they're coming towards us, yeah?
The 2 in the outpost are fine, and yes, they are coming towards you. They have it set up so that no matter what, one of the 5 is closing the gap where the others lift open shortly after.
If we made our way towards the windbreak is solid, right?
Yep.
So if we were trying to get around it by going mine side of the windbreak, we'd be seen by the outpost guys.
Very likely, unless you manage to just be absolute godly and either creeping by or being clever.
Could make a noise in the trees, but that might attract too much attention too early.
Darren looks at D, then nudges his head towards the back of the windbreak so they could circle round. And forcefully to demonstrate, let's go quicker.
D starts trotting along.
I follow along, being as stealthy as I can, because I don't want anyone to see us. Also trying to hide D, since he will stick out more than I will.
Yeah. So you're probably on the inside, I'm on the outside?
Yeah.
Both of you manage to make it to the windbreaker without being discovered. As you begin to creep northward so you can make your way around, you're forced to stop and wait for the next batch of guards to go by. Each of them carrying Steyr AUG assault rifles, their heavy-duty gear more befitting of a SWAT team than mine security.
He's gonna duck down and look over his shoulder. and then look over to Darren. They might not be here. I'll be hearing some shit. And I know for a fact it ain't my actual dad. Keep your guard up.
Darren's face hardens even more than it was, and he nods solemnly. His hackles are raised.
With that, once the patrol passes, Dee's going to try and stick to the edge of the windbreak on the inside of the camp this time. Follow along its back until we hit the that little square shack, and then go around that and take the alleyway up to the satellite.
Darren following.
Yep, covering him.
Excellent stealth, boys. The two of you make it away the round, narrowly avoiding the guards. Darren just swishing around the edge, his tail smacking the windbreak, which shakes a little bit. It having a somewhat green mesh underneath all that snow shakes some of it loose a little. You very quickly pick up the pace as one of the guards pauses, looking over your shoulder as you make your way into the little alley towards the satellite. You can see that his head turned around like an owl's, a full 180 degrees, before he cracks it back forward and keeps walking.
He's gonna look over his shoulder to Darren, and shiver, and then look back forward.
Darren's fangs are just bared in all his jowls.
Once across the way to the satellite, Dee's gonna get low to the ground and poke his head out a little bit, looking right, because that's where he's guessing the others are.
There's a couple of men. They seem to be trudging out of the southern building. And your father is in fact among them. He looks absolutely haggard. His eyes are sunken. He looks tired. His hands are blistered as he's shoving a cigarette into his mouth. Whoever these people are, sadly, you know, they've been working him like a dog.
Darren, paws up towards D and nudges him with his nose. Hey, did you say something about your dad earlier?
Yeah, that black guy, that's my stepdad.
Gonna see him?
Yeah, you can see him pretty easily. You can also see the massive motherfucker starting to come up behind the group. You can't quite make him out yet. In the blizzard, it's too far away, but there is an absolutely huge motherfucker moving behind them, carrying something that smells of meat and food.
Your dad worked for Pentex.
Didn't know. This bastard works for him. I ain't batting an eye at taking him out.
Hang on.
Fucker does odd
Hang on.
jobs.
How did you... Was that some kind of gift you had? You heard him or something from over there?
Nah, I just know this man. I know his voice. Be hearing shit and knowing shit. Bastard likes to walk around, likes to do odd jobs. Wouldn't be surprised if my family moved up to here.
I didn't hear anything. I don't trust this place, D. There's worm all over here.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm not weighing it out of the equation here. Either way, he going down. I ain't got an attachment to that man. Bastard ain't even kinfolk.
Don't get attached to your enemies either. Don't focus too hard. You'll get blinded by the one on your side. Don't get choked up by Yorman.
Don't you worry. I got my head on my shoulders. I've been dealing with this stuff for a while. I got this.
Darren nods his wolfish head.
He's gonna wait for the people moving from the south to pass by, so we can move around the back of the radar to go to the truck building.
Excellent stealth, you two. Well, D, you immediately slide underneath one of the buildings. They're elevated ever so slightly off the ground, making it a more or less safe hiding spot. It is tight and cramped as all hell, though, especially as you can hear footsteps going inside of the one you're under. Darren, you are a bit on the big side to hide there, so you go towards the steps of the other one. You can't hide there. You're missing anywhere you can possibly hope to fucking hide. Just as the big fucking shadow of a man that you saw before begins to come around the corner. You have the bad feeling that you're about to get seen and it's all going to be over. When the door to the one to your left opens, blocking you from sight just narrowly. And you can hear another voice going, "What the hell's taking you so long?" You can hear the heavy footsteps. D can see the massive legs of the son of a bitch as he gets closer. I report from North Bay. Pups to the south. She's not going to be happy about this. No, she's not. When Azera gets back tomorrow, we'll tell her. Until then, organize some of the Mori, send them out. Take care of the pups. And why should I? Because I'm in charge. Until Azera gets back. Fuck off. Get out of my way. You hear them both go inside, the door close.
I tried to find better cover.
Dave, Snarls, Tara, you are in the northernmost, on the left-hand side, building, which is the office. Though it's maybe incorrect to call it an office, as instead it's a trailer which has been permanently in place. It could easily be hooked up to a back of a truck and moved at a moment's notice. Inside of it is a single computer resting on a fairly cheap, easy, transportable desk made of metal, bolted to the ground. A few boxes line some of the sides. 2 monitors on either side, as well as a server bank to the left. Floppy disks rest all along the side of the desk, as well as the screen, which is currently just showing the Rend Enterprises logo spinning slowly in place.
Question, Nylan. How heavy does this server look?
Heavier than you can carry.
Shit. Even in Krynos?
You really don't want to go Krynos right now.
Okay, are there any like windows into this place?
Nope.
Can I sniff to see if I smell anything that doesn't smell like it's part of the building?
The server bank does stand out. Not being normal. It seems too cold. And you don't feel the sort of presence of the Weaver emanate from it.
Smells clearly sniffing would say. That box glass screen thing, I must say I don't deal with them much, but there doesn't seem to be any, I don't know, it seems cold. Like there's no Weaver spider spirit kind of thing coming from it.
Mm-hmm. Out of character, like going into this building, there were like no cameras or alarms or anything.
Thankfully, no.
And in this room, nothing?
There is a camera facing the computer.
Okay, but then what's the... There's a camera facing the computer.
Yes.
What would that camera be hooked up to if not the computer?
Exactly.
Oh no.
Can I tell?
It is hooked up to the computer.
So it's gonna watch whoever goes to the computer. Can we, like, is there like a, I don't know, some
Hold on.
wire we could cut?
Quite easily. Or you could just unplug the wire from the back of it.
Or do that?
Dave's already moving to do that.
Okay, cool.
He gets the basic gist.
Cool.
Snarls, while he does that, would keep almost investigating the room to see if anything's off. Perhaps something is a trap or something's watching him.
Alright then. So, Dave, get to work. Snarls, let us keep a lookout. Let us know if anyone comes close.
I walk up, grab the plug on the camera, and then walk over to the thing and say, give me about 10, 15.
From what you've gathered, the mine has produced hardly any yellow cake in the past 6 months.
You said there's floppy disks nearby?
Yes.
I'm going to grab one and insert it into the thing and start, I'm going to see if there's anything on this floppy disk before I start downloading stuff onto it.
Nah, nothing of use.
How much information can I get from... I'm going to have to roll again, aren't I?
If you want to find more info, yeah, you're going to have to roll again, my friend.
Okay, I'm going to use a willpower.
You are finding nothing as you spend half an hour clicking away, the sound becoming a monotonous constant for both Tara and Snarls.
I mutter to myself, Weaver, help me. Jesus. Gaia, fuck Christ.
Meanwhile, D and Darren, you are forced to make yourself back towards these sheds, or rather the outcropping buildings. You come across a small shed, which upon managing to get a gauge for, it's definitely alarmed, definitely locked, heavily secured, more so than most of the other buildings here. Suggesting there's something in there of value. Meanwhile, Snarls, that sixth sense of yours hasn't quite triggered, but you've had a couple of close calls. You've been able to hear and even smell things wandering around outside. You're getting very uncomfortable, and you don't know how much longer your luck is going to last. Dave, do you want to try rolling one more time?
Yes. I look to Tara and whisper, get over here.
Tara comes over. Well, she's been kind of watching over your shoulder the entire time.
I run my hand over my face and whisper as quietly as possible. I'm gonna give it one more try. If I don't get anything, we need to get out, take a little break, come back later.
We're gonna find what we came for.
Next half hour, you actually managed to find some very interesting things. For one, Brand Enterprises was recently taken over by the Draco Holding Company Limited, which is a Pentex subsidiary. For two, 6 months ago, personnel were laid off at the site manager vanished. The home office of Brand Enterprises has still been trying to search for them. And lastly, you find a diary entry from Azera, a black spiral dancer whose dream is finding the 5 talons of the worm, whom she believes she is destined to awaken. And lastly, There is an electronic mail letter outlining the deal between the Black Spiral Dancers of Manhattan to Azera work for the deaths of the Wendigo pups.
I point to the screen and then offer a high five.
Tara's giving a wide smile, but she doesn't want a high five just in case it's too loud.
He's going to hold it out for a second, then slowly retract it and say, "Way to keep your brother hanging. Let's go." Okay. How long is it going to take to download this information?
Dexon computer. Meanwhile, Darren D, are you going to try to get into that shed or poke around a little?
Are there any
I
windows?
want to see what the fuck in that shed.
Are there any windows?
Nope. This thing is barred up tightly.
Car.
Damn it.
Um,
Okay, you said all of the buildings, they're all raised off the ground, right?
Slightly. This one is the only one firmly planted.
Fuck! God damn.
Nylan, can I get a map, site? Can I get a designation for all the buildings? I look over to Tara and say, "It seems to be a mess hall or supply. Let's see, we're here. I don't see any armory. Maybe the storage shed?"
We got what we came for. Let's not risk any longer.
Of course.
Snarls.
Oh no.
Dangerous.
Let's go.
Something's coming.
How close?
You have maybe 60 seconds to hide or get ready.
Eyes would start twitching and he starts growling and would say, "Guys, there's something coming. We need to go now." And he would gesture to the back wall, shifting into Hispo.
Do you know what it is? No. You are not punching through that wall.
You immediately see as Snarls making his way to the end of the trailer office has morphed into the massive dire wolf of the Garu.
Wait. I call out,
No time. Let's go.
You see,
Umber.
I would try to, tear through it and gesture to the others to kind of get on his back.
Is the floppy disk done?
Yep.
Oh, shit. I'm grabbing it and then I'm doing what he says.
As the two of you run to Snarls, leaping onto his back as he crunches some of the wall, the door is thrown open as 3 men with assault rifles burst into the room. The one in the back immediately says, "What flank?" Snarls! Stamina athletics, my boy. Meanwhile, Darren, Prince, you are definitely hearing the gunfire that's going to happen in a few seconds.
So
He's gonna look to Darren as if fucking break shit.
You begin to run. Everyone hears immediately as 3 assault rifles open fire. The moment you are outside Snarls, 2 other men are waiting by the northern edge of the windbreak and begin firing on you. 2 shots, one lodging itself back of your right hind leg, the other one penetrating your ribs, rip through your guts, and a burn seeps throughout your entire body as the silver sadly takes hold.